Hey everybody, it's Mr. Movies 87 here, and today I want to talk to you guys about The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel's ending. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now, make this very, very clear. There will be spoilers aplenty in this video. If you have not beaten the game yet, if you do not want to be spoiled about what happens at the end, and also about how Trails of Cold Steel 2 starts, you probably do not want to watch this video. I'm going to just tell you guys that straight up right now. So, there is a lot to go over in this ending, especially because, well, first off, before I go any further, again, spoilers aplenty. I'm giving you guys a fair warning, plenty of time to edit out of the video if you so choose. I don't mind either way. And I mean, if you don't want to be spoiled, that's totally cool with me. I completely understand. But yeah, before I really get into things here, I want to make sure that you guys are well aware of this. So, we all good? Gonna wait until about a minute in. Okay, good. Okay, so here's how shit went down. They pulled off a fucking massive cliffhanger here. Because here's how things went down. So, you go, in the final chapter, you go down to the old schoolhouse once again, and you awaken the Ashen Knight known as Valimar, who has claimed Reen as its awakener, and, I don't even know what it is. Oh, holy shit. I'm still trying to rack my brain about what all happened. So yeah, before that, you find out that the old schoolhouse, the bell in there is ringing by itself. There's a huge force field around it. Class 7 bonds together and enters the old schoolhouse once again, and they find themselves in the realm of the Great Shadow. They fight Loa Erebonius as well. Reen claims his power as the Awakener and teams up with Valimar there. Also, the Chancellor gets assassinated. So that happened by C, and C, as you can probably figure out as you're playing the game along, kind of piece things together. I'll tell you guys now anyway, again, spoilers. C turns out to be Crow. Crow was. He said himself he was pretty much never there in Class 7. And he's almost arrested by Captain Claire there, but he manages to escape. And then now, Trista and damn near everywhere is being invaded by the noble faction. Now I'm gonna read into this more too. I have the little like art book here that came with the Lionheart edition of the game, and there's a little prelude of info beforehand going into Cold Steel 2. So I'll read over that here in a second as well. I'm just doing a general overview of what happened. So yeah, Reinford's Fifth Division has been making these new knights now for the noble faction and all that. Crow's apparently had his also for 3 years now, so the Reinford company was able to base their models off of that one. So they were made to be damn near invulnerable. You end up fighting a couple of them throughout the ending part of the game there. In Valimar himself, who turns out to be, well, as you would expect, really fucking powerful. Unfortunately, with Crow, he pulls out a trump card, and you're kind of screwed. All hope is lost. Also, Celine can, well, talk, but you guys already knew that. Well, you'll find out more so about that at the end anyway. Valimar pretty much takes over himself, or has like a sentient mind, really. Normally, whoever's piloting the Divine Knight armor is in control, but yeah, Valimar kind of took over and flew Reen away just however far he possibly could. And all your friends in Class 7 are buying you time so that you can escape. And they ended right there. Like, Crow knocks out Reen, he's pretty much more or less done for, it looks like. All of Class 7 shows up surrounding him. They buy him time to escape. Valimar takes over. He flies away. Reen's like, no, let me stay. And then it ends right there. I was just like, did they just do that? It was fucking crazy. I could talk about it for so long, but it wouldn't do it enough justice. You would need to seriously play it and experience it for yourself. And I will say, I have not played a game this good in quite some time. I love every chapter along the way. It starts out all well and good. You're generally at the schoolhouse or at the academy doing the student council errands, all that stuff there. Then you have your field study, and it does such a great job of building tension throughout each chapter, and then a huge climax at the end of each chapter, setting the stage for the next one. And things are. I mean, Trails of Cold Steel 2 is going to be fucking ridiculous, too. It's already been out in Japan, actually, since September of 2014, I believe. And it will be coming out in the West at some point this year. There's been no announced release date yet. I'm sure it'll be out before too long. I mean, hell, Trails in the Sky, the first chapter came out, I think in 2014 as well, and then second chapter that came out just in October of last year, and then Trails of Cold Steel came out in the U.S. December 22nd of last year, so a little over a month ago. And apparently, it also just came out in Europe on the 29th of January. I did not know that until just yesterday, actually, so that was kind of surprising. But yeah, I cannot wait to see how things are handled in Cold Steel 2. I only know a little bit about what happens because the art book here, it gives you some detail about that. For the character profiles, it actually tells you a little bit about what each character is up to following the events of what happened with Crow there. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read off right from the art book here, a little intro here for our Cold Steel 2. Peace is but a memory. In the wake of the noble faction's occupation of Heimdall, civil war is broken out across Erebonia. The provincial armies, loyal to the nobility and the four great houses, have claimed many of the nation's cities for the noble faction, but the imperial army, called back from the far corners of the empire, has only begun its sweeping counterattack. Although Reen managed to escape Trista with Selene and Valimar, he awakens in the mountains near his hometown of Ymir, uncertain what fate befell his friends who bravely threw themselves in harm's way to buy him the time to flee. Though the road will not be an easy one, Reen decides to take up his sword again, journeying across Ereboni with the Divine Knight Valimar in search of his friends from Class 7, and a way to end the conflict before its price becomes far too dear. So pretty much tension was building throughout the last chapter. Really, the Caliver Republic declared its own independence, and is now teaming up with the Noble faction. So pretty much full-on war is about to break out. And it more or less even has. The Chancellor even said during his national address, during the final chapter, and there had been some armed conflicts breaking out. I should also mention too, Dorelia Fortress got fucked up, like big time. It's pretty much wiped off the map entirely. Although I mean, they say it's still some of it is still there. Oddly enough, also completely untouched. But I mean, most of it is pretty much gone. The railway guns there, gone completely. Crow now has like a full army of the Ashen Knights there, and well, yeah, kind of a I don't want to say one-sided battle, but it kind of is in a way when you're fighting him with Reen. I mean, you do beat him the first time you fight him, and then he's like, "Oh, you've been piling yours for one day. I've had mine for 3 years. I have a trump card, you know." And yeah, boom, one shot, Reen's down. Teammates show up. Oh, yeah, teammates, classmates, same thing, really. Yeah, they buy the time to escape, and I'm just sitting there like holding my Vita, and my mouth is agape like the entire time. And then boom, it just cuts out right there. To end on that high of a note, to build that much hype before Cold Steel 2, I mean, Falcom outdid themselves with this one. It's ridiculous. I can only imagine how Trails in the Sky 1 and 2 are. I need to beat those at some time. I really do. I'd started my New Game Plus already on Trails of Cold Steel last night, which I probably will work on quite a bit. But I also really do want to play Trails in the Sky 1 and 2. You don't have to play them necessarily to understand Trails of Cold Steel, but you get more of an appreciation for the story and all that, because you reference various areas from the first two games there anyway. So yeah, I'll definitely want to work on that. I have Sky first chapter, but I don't have the second chapter. Crassus, can you move? Can you guys go lay down? Such pests, I tell ya. But yeah, I need to work on that. I've put in like 3 hours or so thus far, so I have a long way to go there. But yeah, I'll get back to that in due time. But anyway, back to Cold Steel 2. So yeah, Reen is all alone there in Ymir, and also now I glanced at this the other day. I want to see where the other characters turn up, because it does tell you in here too. Let's see. Speaking of which, also I noticed that there's a lot of characters that were unplayable in Cold Steel 1. It appears to me anyway that they will be playable in some fashion in Cold Steel 2, which I'll try to glance over here in a little bit here. So anyway, Elisa is now found her way north to the North Highlands with Gaius and Millium. Eustace, I believe, is with. Okay, he's with Laura and Emma, and he find their way back to Laura's hometown of Legram. Monty has found his way to Tilted with Elliot and Fee. So that's everybody, right? The three groups of three. So yeah, they find themselves everywhere. And yeah, Reen's not going to be traveling across the entire damn world to find everybody. Also, now something that bait is coming up now. It mentioned slightly in Cold Steel 1, but will be more prevalent in Cold Steel 2, is the Society of Ouroboros, who apparently just about every villain now is a part of in some fashion here. And apparently also Emma knows some of them. You'll find out too. If you've met Vita Clotilde, the opera star in Heimdall there, yeah, uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? And I don't know. I can't think of the proper word I want to use. Oh, facade. I guess that'll work. Yeah, yeah. Not true. And she's also not Misty. Turns out yeah, she's a witch. You'll see more about that later on. But for one thing, but yeah, Emma, throughout chapter 6 and 7, you'll kind of notice that she knows a lot about the things of the spiritual nature. I mean, she knew a lot more about the Divine Knight than anyone else, and she does open up about that a little bit. But I'm sure she will more so in Cold Steel too. Yeah, she knows more about them than anyone else does, which is I think I already said that. But anyway, I'm wondering also now with Milliam, because she was in the intelligence division before, and she was thrown into our class. To one of her side projects was to keep an eye on the Ashen Knight in the old schoolhouse there. Anyway, that was one of her missions there. Anyway, and but yeah, they kind of really dropped the ball on Crow. Like no one pieced it together till it was too late. Because during the last day of the festival, you're talking with Crow there, right? And he pays back your 50 mirror that he conned from you in like chapter 2 or 3 or whenever it was there. And then, well, he was leaving the class anyway. He was going to be there till the end of the month. So next day, you can't find him anywhere. He had to be in class by noon to listen to the national broadcast, right? Can't be found anywhere. You find Milliam in the old schoolhouse, but she doesn't know where he is. Turns out that Crow's room is completely clear, and you find out that he actually went to Heimdall to see the conference in person, which which Reen finds odd because Crow's never been interested in politics all that much, and I found that odd too. And then I realized, like, oh wait, this could be bad. This could be really, really bad. You might even see my tweet about that last night, really. And then as things unfold, I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like, oh my god, Crow's about to do this, isn't he? He's going to assassinate the Chancellor. So yeah, speech is going on. They zoom miles away in Heimdall. You see the same sniper that was used to knock out their airship before when he fought C in the mine there, and he drills the Chancellor straight in the heart. And well, they rushed him to intensive care, but I don't know how he would have survived that. I mean, I don't think he didn't, but I mean, they kind of played it as though he did, but he got drilled right through the heart. And the Chancellor's last words were, "Well done, Armbrust." So he knew the entire time that it was Crow who did it. And then Claire shows up, thinking she has Crow cornered, right? I mean, not much Crow could really go, you would think, watching the scene there and everything. And yeah, she's mad at herself that she couldn't pull things together fast enough. But it's too late anyway. Crow jumps off the corner of the building, and his Divine Knight is right there to catch him. And he's already gone, and shit just breaks out everywhere. And even all your instructors there and Trista are joining the fight too. I mean, there's Sarah, Principal Van Dyke, and Instructor Thomas. Beatrice is there too. Makarov is there. And oh yeah, let's talk about Sharon, shall we? Yeah, the Severing Chains, apparently. She's a member of the Society of Ouroboros as well. She's fucking ridiculous, too. I mean, yeah, she joins up, not as a party member, but she joins the story fairly early on, as I recall, to be a maid of Class 7, right? And, to support Elisa and the entire class from the baseball, because the Reinhardt family wanted her to, right? Um, and throughout the way, you find out she's like more and more mysterious. Like she's able to just damn near teleport everywhere. She's always where you're gonna be, more or less, as the story unfolds. And instead, they finally pull it together that, yeah, she is Severine Chains. She even fought Sarah a couple of years ago. And you see her in action, not in actual, like, in battle, but in cutscene style. And, yeah. She is ridiculous, and she's so calm about it too. She's like, "Please allow me to handle this, everyone. They will not get past me," or whatever else she says exactly. I forget what. And then she just jumps over our entire party. She's sprinting out there, and I'm just like, "What?" I mean, it's ridiculous. It is. What else is there that I could go over real quick? Yeah, there's also, yeah, along the fact that I mentioned the characters from before. It also looks like a bunch of new people are showing up here too. I mean, for one thing, like I said earlier, characters that weren't playable before appear to be now because they mentioned some weapons that they use in battle. So I kind of have to figure that they'll see action at some point. I mean, Toval here has his own what's it called? Stun rod here. I'm cheating off the manual right now, so never mind that. But he's apparently able to make his own custom edge ornaments, which allow him to cast arts with greater speed than anyone else. So I cannot wait to see that. I'm sure there'll be new attacks to use also in Cold Steel too, of which I'm sure we'll be able to use like damn near all of them. Apparently also, yeah, Claire's mentioned here again with her orbital pistol, so I'm sure she's going to be a playable character. Elise is pictured here with a sword, so she might be playable in some fashion too. Um, Another new character here. We found out that Milliam is known as the White Rabbit. That's her code name. Apparently now there's also the Black Rabbit. Altina Orion is apparently her name. And she has her black construct similar to Erigetlum, named Cleom Solis, if I'm pronouncing that right. I probably butchered that, so please forgive me on that one. Yeah, apparently very, very similar to Erigetlam. So I'm curious to see. She's probably in the intelligence division. They probably know each other, her and Milliam. I mean, Sarah's back here. Sharon's back. She could damn well be a party member too. Sarah was before too in Cold Steel 1, and she was fucking awesome as hell. But yeah, if Sarah, not Sarah, if Sharon could be like a permanent party member, I would want to use her all the time, just from seeing her her prowess in the cutscenes alone here. Yeah, Prince Oliver's back. Princess Alphin's back. Toa's here with a gun too. Is she going to be a playable character also? I don't fucking know. Yeah, a lot of this now could just very well be speculation on my part. Because again, Cold Steel 2 is not out here yet. It will be announced sometime this year. But it is out in Japan. Like I said, it's been out since September 29th, 2014 was its release date, as I recall. So they know what's up with this. I do not. So I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, Vita's facility's back here. Another new character named McBurn, who, well, as you might be able to guess, controls fire. Let's see here. Yeah, Blue Blanche is back. Duval, pronouncing that right. It's spelled Duvalie. Um, and she's also with the Ouroboros. I mean, like I said, who else isn't in Ouroboros right now, apparently? A couple new characters here, too. Lloyd Bannings and Ritzia Mayo, or Mao. We heard her name mentioned. The vice principal mentioned that, I believe in Chapter 7 as well. You have a mini quest, you can talk to him to find his notebook, and there's actually a picture of her in his notebook, and he raves on and on about her. And she's pictured here with a huge-ass sword, kind of similar to Laura's great sword, for one thing. Lloyd is pictured here with, well, they're not really swords, per se. I'm looking at them right now, and I don't really know what the hell they are. They're they're kind of like twin blades of swords. He's kind of holding them almost backhanded in a way. Yeah, they look like swords. Maybe like a beam comes out of them or whatever. But it has a handle on them. They look more blunt than anything, really. He's apparently an officer belonging to the Special Support Section of Crossbell's police force, as I steal that from right here. He wasn't really mentioned or featured that much in Cold Steel 1, as I recall, but it seems like now he'll play a much, much more prominent role in Cold Steel 2. Then there's Dude Cayenne, there's Lecter, Leonidas and Xena, we saw them before, actually. I remember, we were in the Imperial Palace, and they were, Oliver's bodyguards. They were somebody's bodyguards. Apparently, they were both in. I think the two of them were both in Fee's Jaeger Corps back then. Which also, by the way, yeah, Fee saw them there on their during their assault in Heimdall there. So she's going to be bumping into them at some point throughout the game. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. Who else do we have? Then yeah, Laura's dad Victor, and the last couple people here are Valimar and Ordine the Azure Knight there. And of course, there's plenty of artwork here through all the characters, really. So, in summary, Cold Steel 2 is gonna be ridiculous. I mean, there's no way around it. With Cold Steel 1 building up that much hype at the end of the game, I could see Cold Steel 2 selling even better than Cold Steel 1 just because people are so hyped after Cold Steel 1, myself included. So pretty much as soon as I find out when it comes out, I want to go to GameStop and pre-order it like immediately. Thankfully, I have a GameStop right up the street from me. I could literally walk there if I wanted to, and I probably will just to pre-order it. And yeah, there's a collector's edition for it. I am definitely getting it. There's no way around it. So is that everything? I could go on for even longer, I think, but I've already gone on for 20 plus minutes. So yeah, there is a lot to go over. And I mean, I might even just play the last chunk of the game again just to watch all the scenes and all that again. It was just so damn cool. And yeah, I'll keep working on my New Game Plus as well. Which also, I didn't really go over that, did I? Apparently, at the start, once you do your first New Game Plus, you have up to 5 points to spend on, excuse me, various bonuses and whatnot, right? Right, there's some things that take 0 points, a couple take 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, for example. And the more times you complete a New Game Plus, the more points you'll have to spend actually, so you'll be able to get more stuff there. Like I think the 0.1 was carrying over all your linked levels with each character, and also like the rush and burst levels as well. Another one to carry over your Sepith and Mira accounts from the end of the game. To carry over your levels, your open quartz slots, and your master quartz levels for one thing. Like all your details in the notes there, recipes, that sort of thing. There's also one that I chose to do as well. To start the game with 300,000 Mira and 3,000 of each type of Sepith there. I thought that was a good way to go for on that. There's a couple more too. I forget what they are. But yeah, it's really cool how they handled that. I've never really have seen that before. And the more times you beat the game, the more stuff you're able to unlock. So I'm going to do at least one more full playthrough, probably another one after that, really, just so I can unlock everything. And I might very well go for S rank on every chapter there. I did not do that. I think I mostly got A's and B's throughout the entire thing, which isn't bad. Yeah, my final rank at the end of the game was, I believe, A2. I'm pretty sure. And after that, it's only A1 and A0. That's the highest rank you can achieve. So that's not too bad on your first playthrough here. So yeah, I might very well go for the other stuff here. I could have done probably so much more on like all the NPCs. I didn't talk to every single NPC throughout the entire game. I did for a lot of them, but I mean, I could have gone on for so much longer. I think I saw one guy on an RPG site, their Twitter account there and their website too, who reviewed the game. His first playthrough was 85 hours, which for me I find awesome. My first playthrough was like 63, I believe, and for a first playthrough, just doing the standard game, I haven't put that much time into a game since Tales of the Abyss, and my first playthrough of that was 60 hours, and before that, nothing else has even came close to that. I mean, there are games that I've played for total longer than that, like Final Fantasy X Tactics Advance for one thing, but that's just all bonus stuff after the fact. I mean, this is talking about for Cold Steel for the main storyline. For like 60 plus hours in the first playthrough is ridiculous, and I loved every second of it. And the hype is real, and then some for Cold Steel too. With how Falcom has been doing this, well, Falcom and its seed have been doing this so far, I would not be surprised be surprised if this game is out in like April. That would be awesome. Because yeah, again, Cold Steel 1 came out December of just last year. Trails in the Sky second chapter came out in October of last year, and then in this Trails in the Sky chapter 1 came out I think sometime 2014. So they got these games out very, very quickly. And the fact, too, that they have so much info already known on Cold Steel 2 over here, the fact that tells me that this game should be out pretty soon, I would think. They should have an announcement. If I had to guess, and this is all speculation really, they probably will announce it sometime like maybe end of this month or early March, and have it out sometime in April, perhaps. And that's kind of just following the trend of what they've been doing. I could be completely wrong on that, and if it comes out sooner, even better. But I don't mind waiting at all. I mean, this game alone, I am hooked on the series now, so I owe it to myself to play in the Sky 1 and 2, and I most certainly will. Because, I mean, I've heard great things about those games too, but I don't know if they'll compare to Cold Steel. This is one of the best games I have ever, ever played, and I shit you not on that one. You guys know me, I've played a ton of RPGs throughout my lifetime. Some good ones, some bad ones, some great ones, some tremendously great ones. This, I think, transcends all of them. It was so well done, top to bottom. Every little detail about it was just so well done. And I think my favorite thing about it overall, well, two favorite things really, I can't pick just one: combat system and the music. The music in this game. I need to find the OST of this full game, like on YouTube or whatever, in a full playlist, and just sit back and relax. It's so good. Every time, every single boss battle, I crank the volume on my Vita to max and just sit back and enjoy it for a bit before I get to the actual battle itself. I mean, there's so many different boss themes too. I mean, you can't pick a favorite one. Although, I'm I'm inclined to say that the Lower Erebonius theme was my favorite. I'm a sucker for the Latin chorus in boss themes. I mean, come on now, you can't go wrong with that. But yeah, I could go on for a lot more, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to make this immediately once I was done with the game. I mean, I enjoyed it so much. I mean, 60 plus hours in the first playthrough. I mean, how did I not enjoy it, really? And yeah, I had to make a video on it. Um, but yeah, also wanted to cater to people who haven't played it yet. So that, again, all the spoiler warnings beforehand there. Um, can you two stop eating each other, please? Don't grumble at me, you big baby. Anyway, yeah, so that takes care of that. If you've beaten the game, feel free to share your thoughts on it with me. I would love to hear what you guys think, what you thought of the ending, and how you think Trails of Cold Steel 2 will be. If I had the means to record or stream it, I totally would. I need a PS TV for that. Like the little adapter thing, whatever the hell it is. Exactly. I've never even seen one of them before. I mean, I know of it, of course. But yeah, if I ever happened to get one, actually, maybe with my tax refund, I could maybe swing that, depending on how much they are. No promises, but we'll see. We'll see. I might be able to do something with that. But anyway, yeah, if I could LP it, I would do that right now. Like, seriously, I would do that right fucking now. I'm not even joking. But anyway, yeah, I need some water after that. I've been rambling on for almost half an hour. I'm glad I did, though. This video was so much fun for me to make. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, too. And with that, this has been Mr. Movies 87 signing off. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.